Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your, I was going to say weekly, but no, that's wrong. Welcome to your monthly reading for August 2023, general monthly reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you so, so much. To my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you for your patience and understanding at this time. I know I've had some gaps in my uploads because I've had a really busy schedule, a lot going on here, but I would absolutely love it and appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and double tap that bell to get notified of all the readings. It really will help me to get my readings back into the YouTube algorithm. What happens is when there's a gap in my uploads, then my videos tend to get a little bit hidden. So here we go. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Thank you guys again, and let's see what your monthly reading has in store for you. I mean, right off the bat, King and Queen of Wands, that is like soulmate. That is like two peas in a pod. That is two meetings of the mind, two people coming together, understanding each other, having a lot of attraction towards each other. But with the Knight of Wands there, really gives me this vibe of maybe someone's not quite ready for that type of commitment. Maybe the vibe, the connection, they pass the vibe check. The connection is good. It's solid. You have fun together. But for whatever reason, this person is focused on other things while you're looking towards the future. And so this person tends to be a little flaky, coming in and out, but when you're with them, when you have fun, when you make plans, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And then you kind of wish, like, why can't it always be this way, right? Your energy oracle, the appreciation card, Angel of Balance, one more, all tied up. Okay, giving me very much Eight of Swords energy there, feeling tied and bound to a specific situation, not being able to progress in a specific situation as well. Towards the end of the reading, once I'm done reading this and bringing out some clarifiers, I will have an opportunity for you to ask one big question that requires some detailed answers, or three different questions, and I'm going to pull the Angel Answers Oracle so that you can get some clarity to your questions. Okay, so here we go. You have the appreciation card, Angel of Balance, and all tied up. We'll start off with the appreciation card. This is an opportunity for you to really stand in the energy of gratitude. Take note of how far you've come, regardless of the way things may feel or seem at this time. If you've gone through some, through a rough patch, if you've gone through some insecurities, if you've gone through, that energy of second guessing whether or not you're doing the right thing or going the right way, this just feels like, with the card of appreciation, the universe is saying, listen, stop pointing out what you're missing. Stop pointing out what hasn't manifested. Stop pointing out how this or that or they are not perfect, or they haven't moved forward enough, or this hasn't, progressed enough for you. Start appreciating how far you've come. Start appreciating the growth that you've had, and that you have had some progress. Things haven't been fully stagnant. Maybe you may feel like they're stagnant because things haven't moved as quickly as you'd like it to be. Maybe you in your mind had said, 5-year plan, I want to be married, have children, buy a house, or whatever, and then we got hit with the pandy, right, with the pandemic, and that kind of just set things aside. Because what happens there, we shut down for a while, our lives were disrupted, kind of set things back, made certain people fearful of how things were going to continue moving forward in the future, and so that has caused some people to regress. And now people are coming out and finding their way back to themselves. But there are a lot of people that have realized, wow, what I thought was more important to me 5 years ago, that doesn't even matter anymore. They've shifted their thinking. They've shifted their goals. They've shifted their outcome. And I do feel like this is a perfect opportunity for you to reflect. Are you still looking back at old goals, at old manifestations, or ideologies that you maybe had before we experienced this big, massive global change, right? because I guarantee you some of that stuff isn't going to resonate with you at the present moment, much less in the future tense, right? Now, that is, of course, unless nothing has changed for you in your life, especially during the pandemic, because I know there are a few people that I know personally that it's like it never happened because their lives never changed. Insane. But yeah, I mean, if you're one of the lucky few where you have felt that, you know, you may be seeing people living their life differently. And I feel like this is an opportunity for you to take note and appreciate all the wonderful change, good, bad, ugly, whatever. It has brought you to a point in your life where now you can really, really be clear about what it is that you want for yourself moving forward, especially if that's within love, a relationship, feeling like you can finally find someone that you really connect on a deep level. Maybe you want more of a physical connection that's more important to you. Maybe for some of you it's more so of a, you know, emotional connection, someone that can meet your emotional needs to you know, have you feel safe and secure in a connection where you never have to think twice. Maybe for some of you it's intellectual. Maybe you want someone who's a little bit more chatty and that can really keep a conversation going, that you can really bounce ideas off of each other, that you can really make those future plans together. Maybe for some of you it's financial. Maybe you want someone who is much more stable, you know, when it comes to money, career, finances. They've got their shit and then some, where they can help you out in whatever situation you may be in. I don't feel like you're waiting for someone to save you here, okay? But I also feel that some of you want to kind of wrap all of that up in a bow in one neat package and let's keep it moving forward, right? So as with all relationships, there should always be some sort of reciprocity. If not, it becomes a one-sided relationship. What do we have when we have a one-sided relationship? Well, there's an opportunity for doubt, for fear, for insecurities to creep in, for second guessing whether or not this is the right connection for you, whether or not they feel the same way for you because they're not showing love the same way you have shown them. And we all have different love languages, so that is also another thing you may have to, you know, maybe get some clarity on. So for some of you, that King and Queen of Wands here really does signify, you know, like I said, two peas in a pod, feeling like two people that are meant for each other. But look, they're not even looking eye to eye, and they're certainly not both looking the same way. She's looking towards the future. He's looking towards the past. It doesn't mean he's stuck in the past, but it certainly feels like he is preoccupied with other plans. He's got other things that he's focused on. Maybe he's thinking more so of working or building a business, or, you know, building a future for himself. Maybe he's got other priorities where a relationship may not take precedence here. However, what I feel here with the Queen of Wands, so take your pick. Which one are you, right? Not gender specific, but definitely what is the energy that you are feeling, that you're vibing with, that you can resonate with, and whether or not this other person is you know, the other person here. But the Queen of Wands is really about, you know, herself and what she wants, making sure that, and I don't mean selfish or, you know, in that self-centered way, but rather, you know, she is more goal oriented. She knows what she wants. She knows what she's trying to manifest. She is keeping a lot of her plans close to her chest, not really expanding on a lot here. I do feel like there is this energy of wanting to protect her ideas, and maybe even not opening up fully to this person, even if there is a strong connection. And the reason is because someone here tends to be flaky. Someone here tends to be inconsistent. Someone here likes to flirt, come in, you know, give it a whirl, have lots of fun, whatever. And then, you know, they're not returning calls. Then it's like weeks before you hear from them again. So you may be going through that type of, you know, situation in a connection here that honestly, I even feel for some of you, it's probably been going on for a long time, where you would think this would be more of a long-term connection already. You also have the Angel of Balance. So I do feel here with this card, you know, this is the Angel of Balance that's really reminding you that it's important to stay grounded and balanced in your day-to-day, in your decision making. If at any point in your life you feel like there is some sort of imbalance, or maybe things are one-sided, maybe it's you know, feeling like you're emotionally or mentally or physically or financially depleted, maybe even energetically, it's because there is an imbalance and there is a need for you to get grounded. There is a need for you to reflect and take note of how far you've come. What is feeling off in your world at this time? Is it your connections? Is it your work life? Is it the imbalance between work and home and love life and children and all of the above? I feel like this is the time for you to really reflect on that and figure out what can be cut out, what can be, what needs more of your attention to help keep a sense of balance here. I do feel like you have an opportunity to really grow something here. But it does feel with that Hanged Man, I mean, he's also hanging in the balance, right? However, although the Hanged Man seems like he's immovable, he's not going anywhere, he's tied and bound upside down, he is also in a state of thought, okay? He is in a state of planning. He is in a state of tapping into his inner wisdom, deep thinking and planning about the next phases of his life, the next steps in his career, where he wants his relationship to go, or what type of relationship he wants here on out, okay? So that could be your energy here, Gemini. You could be thinking of that and you're trying to figure out, are there relationships that are, depleting me? A mind, body, soul, spirit, are there people that I can, forsake? In other words, are there people here that I can afford to spend less time with in order for you to find your own balance and gauge what your life would be like if you're not interacting and feeling depleted with people that are always take, and I need this and I need that. Can you do this for me? And no, I don't mean children, although sometimes people can feel overwhelmed by that. But I don't mean, forsake your children, obviously, but I do feel that there are times where you feel overwhelmed. You may snap back. You may, be a little bit pushy. You may push back, and not be a little, but a lot pushy, right? And you're setting some boundaries and setting a safe distance, especially if you are focused on money, career, finances, trying to make, I feel like you're trying to bring in some wealth. You're trying to grow your money. You're trying to figure things out that way in terms of how to move some money around. I feel like some of you may be tapping into some you may be tapping into some investment accounts and moving money around. I'm just seeing like having a few different accounts and maybe pulling money out of one. So be careful when you're doing that, okay? Just make sure that you read the fine print and you're not paying any type of penalties, okay? So this could be, 401ks being moved around, transferred, things of that nature. This could be just, withdrawing money from maybe like a CD account or, high yield savings or money market or whatever it is, right? Not a banker, not a financier, can't help you there. But I do feel like with the King of Pentacles, you are taking a look at your resources and you're really trying to figure out, are you purposely putting yourself through this type of financial upset, right? I do feel like somebody owes you money. You're definitely tapping into that. You're like, all right, give me my money or we're taking this to the next level. I do feel like if this needs to lead to some sort of court, some sort of needing to serve papers to get this in the legal system, to get what you're owed and what you're deserving of, I do feel that will probably be your next step if you don't get the resolution that you want right away or within a certain amount of time. Okay, you do feel like you're all tied up at this time. If you were dependent or are dependent on someone else's financial income, or maybe you receive alimony, child support, maybe, there's a judgment and you've been awarded a certain amount of money and nobody's paid up yet. I do feel like you feel like you're tied and bound to a specific circumstance or specific lifestyle right now, where maybe money's been a little tight. I don't feel like you're deep into like the red, like the poverty level, or like you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, right? That's not what I'm feeling here. But I do feel that you're being a lot wiser with your spending choices and how you move money and how you move forward. And it's also, if you've got children, it feels like you're saying a lot of no's to them in the next few weeks or months. And, some of you may be doing just the basics when it comes to back to school shopping. And it does feel like at this time, You feel like your finances are tied up. You feel like maybe you don't have any wiggle room, or there's no room to breathe here for you. I do feel like I said, you can tap into your inner wisdom with the High Priestess here, especially because you have the Hanged Man right above. And I do feel like your intuition, your higher self, is really guiding you at this time to really help assess the situation as a whole. Like I said, you may have money out there that maybe you have forgotten, or maybe you've just, told yourself, oh, I specifically put that money in that account so that I never have to look at it again until I'm old and gray and retired. Okay. But emergencies do happen, especially if you're waiting on someone to pay up, right? It's like, pay up, buttercup. I need the money. But I feel like at this time there may be, even if it's a small penalty, there may be a slight incentive in terms of not having to be stressed out and worried and maybe snappy or whatever it may be, where you feel like you're just completely overwhelmed about being tied, like you're immovable, like you can't break free from the stress. Okay. Maybe that penalty, like I said, I'm not a financier. I'm not someone who gives financial advice, but maybe your peace of mind, your tranquility, maybe it's worth paying that penalty. Obviously to each his own, whatever you're whatever you're able to afford in your finances. For some of you, a few hundred is a lot of money. For some of you, a few thousand is a lot of money. Or that you can't afford, or that you don't want to have to pay. Make that sucker pay the penalty is all I'm saying, okay? Especially if you're going to court, okay? If you have to say, hey, listen, because this person wasn't paying up, I was about to be, in a really bad spot. I had to do this, and now I want them to pay for that, okay? Maybe you need to look into some legal advice there and try to figure out how to get the money, get what you're worth. I do feel like this has really, brought some... How do I say this? This has really, really brought you to a point in your life where you never thought you'd have to be this strong. Like, yeah, we all know people go through tough things and be stressed out, and you can be like, yeah, I was pretty strong for going through that. And maybe you've seen other people be stronger than they should have been, and you probably look and say, well, I'm glad I've never had to be there. And you may now be looking at this situation like, wow, now I'm the one that's sitting here trying to be as strong as I can, as the head of the household, as the sole benefit, or the sole parent, or sole legal custody, physical custody, the sole parent that is the one with all the responsibility at this time, the sole provider. And I just feel like there's a lot here that someone's really not taking into consideration. I don't feel like it's you, obviously. I do feel like this person is just lagging on whatever money that they owe you, okay? So let's see with the Tea Leaf Tarot. We have the card of Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly, well, I'll say, especially if they owe you money and they're not paying up. The card of Dolphin. Well, look at that. Financial gain. Usually coming from something you did in the past. Look, October. I know it might seem a little far away, the month of October, but you could be seeing that big money coming through in October, or October could be that opportunity for you to finally feel like you can breathe again, okay? Where your finances are cleared and things are feeling like it's in a better flow than what you've been in, okay? And so if October seems too far away for you, then, it's time to, like I said, review your finances. What are your options? And definitely look into other options that perhaps you've forgotten about, or you had thought you didn't need to look into that just yet. The card of the Club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Well, that all tied up card definitely tells me that. And that Seven of Wands is definitely saying you're standing your ground and you're not letting those people push you around. You have the card of Love. Okay, so loving relationships, connections, friendships, family. There's a lot of love here. Those are important and being highlighted at this time. And you have the card of Funnel, a period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Pretty sure I said that in the beginning about the appreciation card, and reflecting back on that, on the periods of time in your life and how things have changed for you. And so Gemini, I'm going to pull 3 cards here from the Angel Answers Oracle. So you can ask 3 questions. Question 1, 2, and 3. I will pull a card and try to answer your question with 1 oracle. Or if you just have 1 main question that you would love to have a detailed answer for, I will combine all the cards together and I will give you the best answer that Spirit gives me here. Okay, so now would be a good time to pause and then unpause when you've got your questions. So here we go. Gemini, question number 1 from the Angel Answers Oracle. Question number 1, be assertive. Yeah, you know what's funny is when I first picked up this deck, that was the card that I saw. As I put the deck down, and look at that, even after shuffling it still came out. So there is a need for you to be assertive. If this is in regards to a connection where you feel like this person is consistently inconsistent and you want more, then you've got to be willing to be assertive and say, listen, I know I've accepted less than, I know that I want more, and you know, I want to make sure we're on the same page, because if you want more, then why hasn't this progressed? What is the reason that I am not aware of, or that I'm not seeing as to why things haven't progressed? This could be in love, this can be in business, this could be in your career, that you're not seeing any financial growth or seeing opportunities for growth in terms of a raise or job opportunity, right? Like I was promised a job that's going to lead me into other paths or avenue, but I'm still in the same place I was a year or 2 ago. It could be that. So be assertive, put yourself out there. But definitely, I do feel that if this is about love and you're wondering why things haven't progressed in a relationship or haven't gone down the path that you would like it to, I feel like it's time for you to be assertive, even if it's not the answer that you want to hear. At least this way, you'll know once and for all whether or not you're wasting your time or not. Okay. So question number 2 for Gemini. A year from now, so many people have gotten this card. I have shuffled this deck so many times during, in between, before, after all the readings. So whatever your question was about, especially if it had to do with timing or whatever the question was about, I feel like you will get the answer, the clarity within a year. So the card of a year from now doesn't necessarily mean exactly a year from when you're watching this. It could technically be a year, but generally you start to see movements as you go through the year. So it's progressive. So you'll start seeing a little bit more movement, clarity, whatever it was about this situation that you were asking about. I feel like you'll get the information, you'll get more clarity, and you'll be able to see either the manifestation, the movement, the choices, or some sort of progress within a year. Okay, from now and up to a year. Up to, okay, could be 6 months, 9 months, could be 2 weeks, you know. But I do feel like it will be a year from now. I'm feeling like 10 months. I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm feeling like 10 months, okay? So the, let's see. Or it could be October, number 10. Question number 3 for Gemini. Get more information. Okay, that's another card that has come out for a few signs. Whatever your question is about, Spirit is saying, listen, you are not quite yet ready to make an informed decision, especially if it comes to signing things, contracts, signing up for something, or, you know, joining forces with someone, you know, contractual agreements, things of that nature. If you're thinking of signing up for something, you think that perhaps you know all the detailed information of how much something is going to cost or what the investment is going to cost you, I feel like there is a lot more information you need to get. If someone is coming to you about something that is asking for help and you really have a heart for them, you want to help them, I highly, highly suggest you get more information, know what you're getting yourself into. I felt that very, very strongly with that. Tell me more on that one, because I do feel like there is a lot more to this situation. So it could be a romantic partnership. someone that you could have been involved with romantically, or this person may be involved with someone romantically that maybe wants your help in something, and you're just like, I don't feel comfortable doing business with, this person that maybe you've only been seeing for a short amount of time. So definitely get more information before someone gets you to sign up for something that you don't even feel like this person's going to be around for very long. Okay, so if you had one big question and you were wondering about something, I do feel like if you are looking for a specific outcome, maybe it's a raise, a new job, maybe it's a progression in a relationship, I do have it strongly that it will happen within a year, what you are waiting for. However, it's not going to happen if you just sit back and wait for it to happen. There is a need for you to be assertive, and I'm not saying pushy, trying to control the situation, but definitely let your voice be heard and your desires be heard as well. Because if you're just kind of like, okay, I'm accepting this, I'll go with the flow, and I don't know, this person says they like me, but they're not showing it, or they're not doing it, or it just feels like it's always going to be casual, or maybe you haven't even seriously started dating. It's just kind of a hangout, a coffee date here and there, or lunch, and you're just like, this has been going on for a long time. Are we ever going to be serious or date exclusively? Or maybe they only want to have lunch but never dinner. Maybe it's only on a weeknight and never weekends. I feel like it's time for you to be assertive and ask the question that you may be afraid to hear the answer for, especially, like I said, in romance, you need to get more information as to why this person is not progressing the connection, the relationship, or whatever it may be, okay? Because I do feel like they've got other things going on that they haven't shared with you. They may not be sharing all the details of their life. And then, you start off a connection, a relationship on a lie. What happens? You tend to think that, well, this person can't be trusted. And maybe they can, maybe they can't be. But only you can decide that. So that is your reading, Gemini. I hope this resonated to a certain degree. Let me know down below how this resonates. I wish you guys all the best. Your playlist is here. Your whatever other reading is here. The link to book a reading is in the description box down below. I know that I haven't had a lot of openings lately, but I will be adding some more. So keep a lookout on that. Okay. Have a great one. Take care. Bye.